Audio looks okay. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Crap everywhere here. Great show. This is for camera. Good morning, good morning. What's this, a new website? New website? Yes, paper's out. Thank you. Paper's out late this morning. I originally forgot. It's been kind of a funny morning here. I know. The weekend has been... the weekend was... frantic's not the right word for it. Whatever. You know, we had lots of stuff going on. You know, the video went up last night, so the last couple of days has been very, very, very... intense, that's what it is. The weekend has been very intense. So this morning I just chilled out, didn't do anything this morning. Is the compression turned off? I haven't changed anything in the settings. Is the audio funny today? Are we lower than normal, higher than normal? Give me a hint. The gain is in overdrive. It's too noisy. It's crackling as it peaks. I really haven't changed any settings at all. Well, okay, there is a gain control here. I can put it to low. The mic gain has now been switched from medium to low. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Are we okay? Give me a hint, are we okay? Okay, I'll leave it there then for a while. No buffering at this end, we're on full normal Wi-Fi. Everything's okay here. I know on Friday when we did that sort of guerrilla stream while we were doing the YouTube video, I did screw up on that. I know, you know, when I do these streams, I have a normal checklist. Check the audio, check the video, check this, check that, check the Wi-Fi, check everything. And on Friday, because I wasn't doing the normal procedure, I skipped one thing in my checklist. And although I started the stream properly, I forgot to figure out which Wi-Fi the computer should have been using, and all during Friday's YouTube taping, the Twitch computer was trying to connect to the Wi-Fi upstairs. So that's why Friday's stream struggled so much. I had all the other stuff that was going on. I missed that one setting, I'm sorry, and it screwed up the whole thing for you guys. We did get the video in the can, as you've seen last night, but it screwed up the stream, I'm sorry. I try and catch it all, but whatever. Okay, it's Monday morning. It's a cloudy, quiet day in Saksa. We're in a real between the events mood here in Saksa. 10 days or so ago was Golden Week. It was jammed wall to wall. And next Friday is the Sanja Matsuri, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is the peak experience for us in the whole year. If you don't know what it is, just go to Google Images, Sanja Matsuri, and you'll see what happens. It's rivers and rivers and rivers of people. So this next few days is going to be fairly quiet, but already preparations start. Lanterns are going up, different things are happening. The preparation for the festival is in full swing. Bullets myself as well. There it is. That's better. Okay, what else is happening? It's a Monday morning. I know I'll be doing a normal carving stream here. Cameron should be along somewhere around his normal time. I have got some good show and tell today. Really, really nice show and tell. Actually, I've got more than I could possibly show. We could turn this whole stream into a show and tell stream, but I'm not going to do that. But there's some nice stuff. It's funny because Yahoo Auctions, after the whole Golden Week break, when there wasn't too much stuff up on the auctions, there's been a flood this week, an absolute flood. way more things than I can afford to buy. And unfortunately, the usual question too, many of the items going up beyond a reasonable wholesale price. They go up to retail prices. So that leaves me on the cold. I can't buy things for the shop. Okay, let's carve a little bit, then I'll come back and pay attention to this. Oh, I know what I forgot to do. I forgot to kill my browser in the background. It's going to hurt the CPU. Okay, there we go. Here she comes. The roller is working as it should. Weird that she seemed a little less intense today. I'm not quite sure. When I got that video finished last night, I did the final rendering and stuff. Went out for dinner, and even though I've got a nice fast computer, it still took about half an hour or so to render it. So after checking and rendering, I did what I thought was the final render. Went out for dinner. And I came back and put it up last night, and it was Sunday night here in Japan. And there's various thoughts about when you're putting stuff up on your Facebook or YouTube or Instagram, whatever, what time to do it. And I know Jed, I don't know if he's here today, Jed takes a lot of care and effort when he's thinking about this. He will calculate what he thinks is the absolute best time of the week to put stuff up on his social media channels. And he sort of tracks this kind of stuff. He'll know that if he puts something up at X time Saturday afternoon or something, it doesn't get as many views as if he puts it up at some other time, Monday morning, whatever. I don't know the times. But and when I was ready to do that last night, I realized that according to Jed's system and Jed's plan, it really wasn't a good time to do that because it meant it was going to go up in North America like Sunday morning. But I really don't want to spend too much time thinking about that. I'm not trying to get views today. We're putting these videos up for the idea that they're going to be there for a very, very, very long time. And if I start worrying about how many views it gets in the first hour and stuff like that, that's the wrong way to go. So I just put it up, bang. So it's off to a slow start because Europe was awake, America was asleep. But as I said, I can't really worry too much about that kind of thing. Maybe I should, but I don't know. No idea. Oh, conversation. Sorry, ignore you guys. Excuse me. Well, it's not cold at all. It's just perfect weather. It's not chilly. It's not hot. This time of year, really, it is the best time of year. Completely, totally comfortable. What video editor are we using to make the YouTube stuff? I don't know. The ones that I do myself are still done in iMovie. I just use iMovie. The one, excuse me, the one that went up last night was done in iMovie. The previous couple of videos that have gone up, the ones that Cameron-san has edited, they've been done on FCP Final Cut Pro. We've got that on a new computer upstairs here, but I myself, I haven't actually gone through the process for learning how to use that yet. So when it's me that's doing the editing, it's iMovie. Which is why you'll see clumsy stuff. There's one place in last night's video where when I introduced the 8 themes, I read them out, evening, snow, autumn, moon, etc., etc. And iMovie is really poor in what it allows you to do as far as putting text and stuff on the screen. There's some built-in subtitles and titles and stuff like that. But if you want to put text anywhere you like and stuff like this, it's very, very, very poor to do that. So that screwed up last night. When I was looking at it before putting it up on YouTube, I thought, oh my God, I can't put that out because the text was jumping all over the place. I should bite the bullet and learn Final Cut, I guess. I don't know, just another piece of software to keep track of. Also, iMovie is terrible on audio editing, but we don't use it for the audio. I recorded the audio separately, processed it separately, and then just overlaid it into the video. Took out the video, I took out the audio from the camera, and we run the audio separately. Yeah, the white balance also is also terrible. I know. And you remember, you're dealing with amateurs here. I know the white balance problem there is that we were incorporating video from how many different cameras? One, two, three different cameras, recorded at different times of day, with different kinds of light and different kinds of paper. When I was doing those prints where you flip it down and show the next print and show the next print and show the next print, a lot of the white balance issues you're seeing there are some of these are toned old prints, and the paper actually is yellowish, and some of them are newer, cleaner prints, and the paper is much more white. So what you're looking at as being a white balance problem is indeed sometimes a white balance problem, and sometimes it's just that the stuff we're looking at is more yellow. So it's tough. So we try to balance the cameras. We do the shoot the gray card first to try and set the balance. But yeah, daylight. If we were working completely in a closed studio, it would be better. On Friday, we recorded my part of the video where I spoke, and then I did the flip down beside me. But the B-roll showing the flip down was recorded later. It was recorded at night when there was no daylight in the building. So the white balance is really screwed around. Try and get it better each time, bit by bit. But yeah, it must be bothersome to people who understand video well, or film and stuff like this. There's one YouTube video I started to watch last week. Somebody recommended it somewhere. It was a video about some guy who built some kind of big harp guitar or whatever it was. I don't know. I only watched about 30 seconds because I couldn't bear it. The audio was so bad. I'm like yelling at the screen. You're supposed to be a musician. You're doing a video about music and musical instruments, and the audio is so bad. I just yelled at the screen and canceled. And yet last night I did the same thing. My video was supposed to be about art and color and beautiful things. And you'd have screwed up basics like white balance. So I can imagine some guy yelling at the screen, I'm out of here. It's tough, it's tough. For those of you who have been visiting here and stuff and dropping by, there's a little bit of news in the restaurant thing. The restaurant across the street, the one that's been having huge staffing problems. I had told you that the girl there had told me that they were going to be coming alive again, and it seems they have. You know, during Golden Week, they had a stand outside where they were selling their strange burgers, the ones with deer meat and horse meat and stuff like that. But that group of people has now got themselves organized inside. I was over there for dinner last night. They're open now for lunch and for dinner and for bar time, like until 2 o'clock in the morning. I was a bit surprised to move so suddenly from not even having staff to run lunch to having staff to run until 2 o'clock in the morning. And it's not the same company. What they've done is they seem to have subleased it to some other guys who are going to give it a try. And it's open and it's sort of okay, and I had dinner last night there and it was nice, but I don't have high hopes for this. Because it looks like a gang of guys who have a dream of running a restaurant but don't have a clue what they're doing. And whatever, I shouldn't be too pessimistic, because those things maybe sometimes do work out. But I wouldn't bet money on it, because they don't have a clue. They don't seem to know what they're doing. And this is sort of ground zero. It's hugely high traffic area. And if you're going to screw up in the restaurant business, whatever. So we'll see. And I don't mean negative. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to patronize. We're going to have lunch there. I'll eat there at least once a week, maybe more. I'll do what I can to get it going. But they're pretty disorganized. And also, they don't have a clue. I mean, really, they don't have a clue about social media. They don't even think it's important for what they're doing. And when we were talking the other day to them about coming do an Instagram picture of their baka burger, the guy didn't have a clue what I was talking about. So I wouldn't bet money on this. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it's possible. So what's the time? 8:30 or so? Okay. Yeah, the hot dog joints in this cafe are a totally different approach now. The hot dog place is very, whatever, from my point of view, is a very selfish business. They are very busy, they're very successful, but they are also hugely intruding and getting in the way of their neighbors, people who've been doing business on the street for a long time. And that bumps me the wrong way. You know, I don't mind people coming in and doing business and being successful, but you can't block your neighbor's front door. And the hot dog people are still blocking the door of the next door business. If it was me, I'd have gone nuclear by now, absolutely nuclear. And this cafe across the street, they're not hurting anybody else, Tom, absolutely. They're just trying to do their business. So I didn't mean to shoot them down that way. Conversation. Oh, already? You're early. What's going on? What's going on? Earlier trained than normal?
Yeah.
Wow. You're going to shock these people.
Who is this guy?
Who is this guy at this time of day? So. Good weekend, sir?
I think so.
I think so. What do you mean?
Yeah.
It's past already.
Oh, yeah, I guess
I didn't mean
okay.
next week.
Well, that's pretty good. Is this for you?
No, it's the, whenever we send the postage thing to Jed, that it gets the extra insurance.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the extra platform, so.
Got it.
More than need you mind.
Okay. Got it.
I just use it as a notepad.
Got it. Bring it upstairs. Or, I don't even know. Usually don't keep these.
No, I don't think it's keep. Just open it, check, and make sure what it is. But
Okay.
because sometimes from the post office, whenever we don't go to the post office within, they put the things in.
Yeah.
I can't explain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're always.
So that comes by mail, and we have to keep those because that's the only legal record of the transaction.
Right. Should we move the camera?
Yeah, sure. Except at home. They're busy chatting about buying stuff from Woodlike Matsumoto and things like this. I wasn't following the whole chat here, so.
That's good though. More people are getting
Also,
started.
Before I forget, just at the very beginning of the stream, Karen was dropping in, and I think she's got a new website, I think. I didn't actually see the content of the chat.
Oh, okay.
Karen has a new website, so
All
we can
right.
look at that and maybe insta it or something or whatever.
Cool.
Okay, let's get this camera. So this camera comes off. This camera comes on and up. Over to you, sir.
All right. Fly fish for fun. Got your wave. Oh, good. I'm glad. Oh, I got one of them. Vivid keep saying, yeah, and Cameron, you were even earlier on Friday. Yeah, I went clubbing with Dave the night before. That's their guess.
What? What?
Yeah, both of us are big into the clubbing scene here in Tokyo.
right. I used to go to nightclubs at least once a week. True story.
True story.
I've talked about it before. True story. I was still in high school.
Wow. Oh, because you were playing music.
No.
At them. No.
No.
You
My dad was in the house band at a place called the Cave Theater Restaurant
Right.
downtown.
So you'd go and watch your dad play?
No, that's the last thing I would have ever wanted to do. But I used to go to like youth orchestra rehearsals, and we had a woodwind quintet rehearsals. They were all downtown.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And there was no buses, so the way to get home was to
Wait for Dad to finish.
Yeah, go over to the club, the back door, pop in the back door, sit there doing stuff. And
Yeah.
out front, there's Tony Bennett singing, and I couldn't give a rat's ass. I didn't even watch. Ow!
Missed opportunity.
Yeah. I'm just in the back thinking, those guys are so noisy. The place is full of smoke because this is the 1960s.
Yeah.
And my God, a nightclub in the 60s
Yeah.
was. You could see it,
Smokehouse. You'd hang bacon and marinade to get
Yeah,
smoked.
exactly.
Not a good flavor.
So my lungs got that treatment.
Yeah. Jen C says, this makes my night bearable. Getting ready to cat sit, and it's in a village I hate being in. Watching this helps calm me down. I just noticed. Why are you cat sitting in a town you hate if you hate doing it? I don't understand. But I'm glad you're watching. Thanks for joining us. Interesting.
chatting about the timing on the video, I put
Yeah.
the YouTube video up on a Sunday morning in North America, and Jen does not do this sort of thing, of course.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
Yeah.
Maybe I missed an opportunity, it was no good, or I'm sorry, I don't know, but
Yeah.
just it was done, so let's get it up and out of the way. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised you finished. Couldn't wait one more day for me to come in and insert the clips that you had retaken.
Well, no, let's talk about it later after
Yeah.
the stream. Lots
Okay.
of issues about it.
Okay.
On Friday, I don't know if you probably don't know about this, but we tried to do the Twitch on Friday, right? Remember, I did the stream and
Yeah.
put the camera up and ran it while we were doing the YouTube,
Right.
and ignored the Twitch.
The
chat.
Twitch,
It was a good idea.
Yeah.
It would have worked, except I screwed up one thing. I normally have my little checklist when we start
Yeah.
these streams. Check this, check that, Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
it's okay, check audio. And because we were so busy with the YouTube video today, I
Yeah.
missed one checkpoint.
Right.
We started the Twitch stream, got it going, looks okay, these guys are okay. We ignored them while we did our thing.
Yeah.
The computer was struggling to connect to the upstairs Wi-Fi.
Oh, no.
This thing doesn't automatically reset to the closest Wi-Fi. I
Right.
had carried it down the stairs. It maintained its connection to the
Oh,
switch.
no.
So as soon as I opened the Twitch stream, the first few seconds were okay.
Yeah.
But then it started struggling right away.
Got
It
it.
lost audio, it lost this, it started. So all the time we were doing that, these guys were just basically not seeing anything interesting.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's too bad.
100% my fault. I just forgot to check one more thing before
Yeah.
hitting the play button. It's too bad because they would have been able to hear the whole thing, see the whole thing. It would have, it would have been fun.
Yeah.
But as a result, it was a disaster.
It's too bad.
It's my fault. I'm sorry.
And does the camcorder stream over Wi-Fi, not HDMI? No, the camcorders are connected
The cameras
through
are wired.
HDMI,
Yeah,
but,
everything's wired to the computer. So.
but the computer was connected to the internet via Wi-Fi to a connection upstairs rather than down here with or on the same floor as us.
And I cannot figure out if that's the same. These Macs, these computers, the laptops, they're supposed to be good at what is it called, migrating, jumping
Yeah.
from one network to the next. You set your network priorities, which one is you consider number one or number two
Yeah.
or number three. But I've got first floor, second floor. And when I go upstairs, it should, as far as my understanding,
Yeah.
it should follow and switch
Yeah.
smoothly to the stronger Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But they do not. Yours isn't doing it either. When you
Yeah.
So I think that's a misunderstanding. And do I misunderstand how it works?
Yeah.
It was struggling to reach a weak Wi-Fi upstairs when there was a big mega tap here
Yeah.
to be drinking from.
Yeah. Apparently this cat he's watching is huge. They call it muscled cat man. It's a big cat. I don't know. And he has to go give it a bath. That doesn't sound fun. Have you ever bathed the cat?
So
Yeah.
bathing cats, that's the last thing in the world anybody wants to
I
do.
think so.
Been there, done that.
Yep.
Of course.
Yeah.
You see, you get two kids. One kid grabs the two front legs, one
Yeah.
kid grabs the two back legs. They stretch it out.
Yep.
And the cat.
And then
fights
you
with the
watch.
kid, and then you just grab it and roll it around.
Yep.
And then you get the biggest, fluffiest towel you've got. Roll it in there so just the face is sticking out like
Yep.
this. And then you just sit on it for a half an hour. I mean, whatever. We've been there. We've been there.
Yep.
And it hates you, and you hate it, and the cat's eyes say, as soon as I get out of this towel, I'm going to rip your guts out.
Yep. And the next day they forgive you.
You forget. I don't forget, but whatever.
Yeah.
And then next time you bring up that towel.
Where's the cat?
But it's doable. It's doable.
Yeah.
But you need bodies. You need people.
Yeah.
And you can't be nice about it. It's total war.
Yeah.
Yep. Good memory.
Yeah. Tickled by Dave's cat washing descriptions. Yeah. Cats do not like to be washed.
When I lived with my two girls in Hummer, we had a little cat named Jenna. We had her from birth until she died of cancer like 16 years later. You know?
Yeah.
A total family member. And she was fascinated by the bath. Didn't want to go in it, but
Right.
fascinated by it. So she would, you know, she hears the bath running and the
Yeah.
kids fill the bath and the cat comes and watches and gets close.
What's happening?
And jumps up onto the rim of the bath.
Yeah.
To, you know, we had like a Japanese bath has this sliding cover to keep warm, so the cat
Right.
would jump onto there, you know, and get as close as possible and back off, and as close as possible and back off.
Yeah.
And every now and then, of course, you know, I don't know, once a year or something, there would be a tragedy. There would be a bit of soap on the edge, slip on it, and bang in she goes. We never pushed her in, we don't
Yeah.
do that, but every now and
That's
then.
good.
And she was transfixed by this dangerous thing, which she knew she didn't like. She knew she'd fallen in before, so it was not, but she couldn't keep away from it.
It's temptation. Just,
Yeah.
so interesting, but so dangerous.
I don't know what it was, the visual, the smell, the sound, or I don't
Yeah.
know, or the fact that we were in there having fun. I don't know, you know. I want to be part of that. I want to be part of that. No, I don't. No, I don't.
No, I don't.
I want to be part of that.
Yeah. Had a cat growing up. He's now 15, so he's had him for a while. But he's... My stepdad still sends pictures sometimes of him sitting in the shower. He likes to go in the shower after people have showered.
Not with the water on.
Not with the water on, though. So there's some water on the ground,
Okay, yeah,
but
yeah.
he'll just sit in there. Just no one else is around. He'll go in and...
After it's been used. So
Yeah,
it's got to be
after-
wet, you mean?
Yeah.
Really?
And
Maybe
he
there's
just likes to sit there.
A frisson of danger or something, you know. Any minute now it's going to start raining or something.
Yeah, no. But it's just an odd cat. He has the longest tail. And so when I see other cats, what happened to his tail? Because I'm so used to seeing
Here in Japan especially, I mean,
Yeah.
so many short-tailed cats or
Yeah.
broken-tailed cats here in Japan. It's,
Yeah.
it's a DNA thing. You know, so
Yeah.
Ours had that too. Tail looked okay and quick.
Yep.
No. Some mutation that's is spread right through the whole country.
Yeah. Karen says her cat also loves the post-shower thing.
Really? Is it a soap smell or something,
know.
or just a chance to get into a dangerous environment where it looks safe? You know, I don't know. Or they can smell something we can't smell. Like
Yeah.
outside here, sometimes in the spring after a rain shower, the grounder, the air has this kind of cool smell. It's a neat smell, you know.
Yeah. Fresh.
Something a bit
Nature
earthy,
smell.
a bit moist, a bit damp. Something interesting.
Yeah.
Before I forget news, the restaurant across the street, the cafe, is now in full swing as a real business. They do breakfast now, they do lunch, they do dinner, and they do
That
bar
one right
time.
there?
Yeah, the car.
Oh, okay. So they're back.
And it's the same guys who were doing the Baka burger.
Oh, interesting.
But the menu is a mix of what was there before with some of their stuff sprinkled into it.
Huh.
They're not calling it the Baka burger, of course.
Well,
but
yeah.
It's sort of tucked away into the menu. There's the old salad menu, this and this and this, and tucked in there is the deer
horse
So
burger.
it's tucked in. But
Interesting.
I don't have high hopes for it because they are so totally chaotically disorganized.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of guys who look like they've never run a restaurant before, and there are boxes of crap everywhere. I had to trip over something to get in. The menu has no pictures. It's a little tight scribbled thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. So whatever. The one of the guys, not the one we spoke to do the Insta thing, because he didn't have a clue. But what looks like the sort of leader of the gang. I spoke to him last night. He's a nice guy. He's sort of a bearded hippie type dude.
Yeah.
But I don't give them 2 months. Whatever. I don't know what
Yeah.
the lease arrangement is.
Yeah.
But we're going to try it. So we should hop over there for lunch one day just as a support thing. Because the lunch menu seems like it's pretty much similar to what it was.
Oh,
before.
cool.
So one of these days, instead of going to the regular one we like, we should
Yeah.
at least,
Give them a chance.
give them a cookie.
Cool. But you said you ate there last night or just dropped in to see what
No, I
they're
had
up
dinner
to?
last night. So and they've got the same menus on. And before the transition, they had what they call the carves salad. Carves is the name of the slash company.
Oh, okay.
And they made this salad to die for, a big, huge bowl with like 15 different ingredients and chopped fresh and just tossed together and here, eat it. And it was to die for,
Yeah.
like, for my taste. You know. And they're doing it again, but it's a
good.
different formulation now. But okay, it was good. It was nice.
Okay. That's good.
but they don't get social media, they don't get how to write a menu, they don't get how to, just whatever. Even this morning right now, just when I was going to start the stream, she opened at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And it was now nearly 8 o'clock. I came in first, and the open close sign is flipped the wrong way and it says closed. Is it, check, have a peek right now. Have they fixed it? Or it still says closed on the outside?
It says open to us on the inside.
Have they flipped it over or not?
Open.
It is. So somebody did tell him. Somebody did notice. Yeah. I was going to think about running across there and telling him, but I only had about 1 minute to the stream starts. So I'm going to start a conversation.
Karen said she's making her website through WordPress, but
Oh my God.
it actually got set up through, switched the W to an M on accident. It just says Mordpress, and Swedish person says, in Swedish, Mord equals murder.
Yeah, of
so
course, you got
it's
the
the murder press. What is Mordpress?
That could be a thing.
That could be a thing.
Yeah, have you seen the video? You haven't seen it yet. The video we put up last night. I made a comment in the middle there about the 8 cats thing.
Oh, yes.
And in the comments to the video, more people talking about that than anything else. Oh my God, you got to do this thing.
Yeah.
So, 8 years of cats.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I've seen all of the content of the video.
Except the B-roll.
Right.
Except the B-roll. We have some show and tell this morning.
Okay.
We have tons of stuff. The auctions last week just came alive after the Golden Week. Right?
All right.
There must have been lots of people who had just gone. And I spent money, and lots of I couldn't money. It went too high.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff last night. I set the door center I really, really wanted, but it went way past wholesale price.
Yeah.
And it went even high for retail. So
Yeah.
the prices, man. I guess we're part of it, pushing them up.
Mm-hmm.
Just where were the good old days a couple of years ago? Things were much more reasonable.
Yeah.
Demand, supply and demand, man.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm out of shape, out of condition for this.
Mm-hmm.
Am I on screen? I kept.
Yeah, right there.
The festival preparation is coming along, there's people, even yesterday there was people in happy coats walking around getting stuff, there's more lanterns going up all the time, different decorations.
Yeah.
It's cranking up, next few days we're really going to crank up.
It's coming.
Starting maybe Wednesday or so, depending on the weather, we will see lots more strangers in town as the gangsters gather from all over the country.
Got it. Why do you think they've selected this particular
Well, they were
festival?
asked to come in 10, 15, 20 years, over the past couple of decades. The festival has become too big to manage for the local people. Population's increasing, younger people don't want to cooperate with it, they're not interested in it. Whereas it used to be like the teenagers would really get in there and take over this thing. The teenagers these days don't want to do it. And there's so many omikoshi and shrines in such an intense small area that there's not enough people to run it, to do it, to actually carry the shrines around the streets. So it goes back, I don't know exactly when, around 20 years or so, that the word went out around the country. Look, to all the omikoshikai, all the festival clubs or whatever all over the country, come and help us out with this thing. And the little downside of that is most festival clubs are fairly right-wing oriented, Shinto, and they're full of, they're full of gangsters. So that's one of the things that those guys do. So it became a real thing that gangsters from all over the country gathered around here to join in the Sanjimat City.
Yeah.
And it became literally like a gangster festival. You saw the pictures, the guys off dancing on the Mikoshi and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the years that we've been here now, the 5 or 6 years we've been here, have been years of pushback against that.
Yeah.
And it's still in flux. It goes back and forth. So who's going to get to control this thing? The local people, of whom there are not enough.
Yeah.
Or the outsiders who say, hey, you want us to help? And there's no answer in sight. If I were the overall manager of the world or something, I would just scale it back. Instead of carrying 40 shrines around, you can carry 20 shrines around, or whatever. And they're going to say, no, because that's the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
But the people are not here.
Yeah. There are lots of students out this morning when I came.
Until and unless Japanese communities start making a lot more babies, a lot more people, then these things are going to have to be scaled back. Because there's not the manpower to do it.
Yeah.
So it's a long, complex situation for manufacturers.
Gummy asks an unrelated question. Are there any ukiyo-e series based on the number 12 besides Mokuhankan's yearly subscriptions?
That's an interesting question. I know that's not one of the magic numbers in Japanese literary culture. 8 is one, as we've seen. 36 famous poets. There's the 100 poets. What else comes to mind?
53 stations.
No. But
that's just because there actually are
the Kisokaido 60, whatever it was.
Okay.
And there's 68 provinces. But again, those are just counting actual things on the ground.
Right.
The literary allusions, whatever, there's 4 seasonal stuff. There's 4, 8 because of that Chinese roots of that one. Although why they chose 8, I don't know. Magic, happy number, lucky number, whatever, I don't know. The only other one that comes to mind is 36 poets, and then a big one of 100.
Yeah. And 36 is 3 times 12, so.
Yeah, 12 was not a dozen. There's the zodiac thing, so there will be that. There will be stuff in 12 that was, Eto, related, the zodiac.
Is the rolled up board game, was that 12 pieces?
Yes, that was months, nay.
Okay.
So I guess you do have some stuff that's yearly 12 months. A lot of the Meiji era albums are in sets of 12 because they're keyed to the months.
Okay.
So what we're doing with our subscription series is not strange or unusual at all.
Yeah.
But far and away, 8 was the one that just dominated everything. When I did some research for that video, I was astonished by the statistics. I mean, I know there's hake all over the place. We've got it in the shop everywhere. But, also, I missed, this morning somebody asked a question on Facebook. I forget even what it was, and then so I was about the poetry on the poems.
Yeah.
A poetry on the prints that we did the ending of the video.
Okay.
The slow Ken Burns stuff.
Yeah.
This poetry on those prints, and I spoke it, and someone said, "Where can I get this?" So I went to search for a single web page where they're written, because I didn't get them that way. And I popped up a web page that's Honolulu Academy of Arts did an exhibition some years ago. I didn't see this when I was doing research for it. I wish I had. And the poems weren't there, so I failed in my attempt to find this. But anyway, long story, you get scrambled. When I did the video last night, I described why do they have evening snow connected with Mount Hira.
Yeah.
Because Mount Hira gets covered with snow. Now, some of those things were obvious matches.
Right.
And I was an idiot. The Karasaki pine tree.
Yeah.
How did that get connected with evening rain? I forget what I said, but I said something like, it's not obvious at all why this Karasaki pine should be connected with this one, but anyway, there it is, or something like this. It's a no-brainer why it's connected with evening rain. And this guy, this researcher from the Honolulu Academy of Arts, when he was describing his page, he pointed it out. This is a pine tree with like one trunk and then 500 little things or branches that spread out. It covered a half an acre or something. It was famous, blah, blah, blah. And it was famous because people could shelter under its branches from the rain. And I'm like, oh! Stop the present, stop the YouTube. Let me go back and edit this and do it again.
Got it.
So whatever,
That's a big tree. Yeah.
all through that thing, like I showed the koto strings. You get it right. We're so smart as people who get these illusions, and you watch. And if you're really smart like me, you will understand these things.
Yeah.
And I'm laying this butter on as thick as I can do it. And this idiot doesn't get the one about the ringing thing. So whatever.
Yeah.
Right, and this never ends. You're never complete. It's never finished. It's never all wrapped up.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. Also, before anybody books their plane ticket, the pine tree is gone.
Yes.
It didn't survive. Well, Father Time took care of it, and I guess they've replanted. I understand. I should have Googled it.
Yeah.
They've replanted, but it's going to take a day or two before it's back to what it
That size, yeah. They are not fast-growing trees.
Well, I know pine. I think it's a softwood. It is a fast-growing tree. But
I think matsu though, or
is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
Thought so, but I could be wrong. Because they aren't the straight as an arrow kind of pines that just fly up. But
yeah, considering we have lots of kurumatsu bonsai, which is like X thousand years old or something, or whatever.
Yeah.
Someone should recreate that Karasaki pine in bonsai.
Yeah, that would be cool.
I guess it takes just as long.
Yeah. What is that reflection? There's just
One of the cameras catching a reflection or something.
a strange reflection off of this monitor that camera is picking up.
Is it that thing up there? Is that light?
I'm not sure. Well, now I'm blind because I just looked at that light. Yeah, it must be that one. But if you look at it, it looks interesting. It does this strange...
Starburst effect. It's a bunch of LEDs all together in a group. Is that? Or is it
More like crisscrossing lines. You can say later. It's not important. I just thought it was odd.
I can't see that is bright.
That is really bright.
You know. I can't see it.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cameron.
Yep. No problem.
I can't see.
If we go outside, we can look directly into the sun too.
Holy crap, that is bright, isn't it?
Now have these.
That's part of the reason why
matrices
this
of
water flask
that.
is here. You know, to
Yeah.
protect my eyes from the direct light of that.
Yeah. Koringami says, number 12 is so ingrained in our mythology here in the West that it always struck me as curious. But like you said, there's the 12 zodiac signs and the hours of the day were
But the question
is
isn't
12
what
too,
came
even.
first,
Yeah.
the concept of 12 and a dozen or months. I mean, do we take it in the months or? Because having 12 months in a year doesn't really make sense, you know.
Yeah.
Well, nothing really adds up perfectly, but
Right.
The people who tried to figure out a metric here, I think, was 10 months and then something to fill in.
Yeah.
Months of 36 days and then an extra holiday of 5 days and stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
The English money was 12. 12 is a thing in the West.
I recently learned about that. English money, it was really bizarre to me, coming from having never seen it before.
Weights, stone and stuff like that.
A pound being 240 penny weights and having the money divided up so many non-decimal ways is strange to me.
So
but
it wasn't base 12, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Someone asked, before Western influence, did Japan have a similar 12-month calendar? Yes, in China too. At least as far as I remember.
Yeah, I remember that they didn't have the same names, of course, but
Right.
just literal numbers. Yeah. And when I was teaching English here, whenever we got to the lesson, that was talking about dates and stuff, it was great to play with their heads.
Yeah.
Because you're teaching people like the numbers and some Latin roots and stuff for fun,
Yeah.
Like octopus. Why does the word octopus? Because octo was 8, and we learned these things like try. We had to teach the simple ones.
Yeah.
Bi was 2, try was 3, and oh my God, they
Bicycle, tricycle.
Yeah. So this helps vocabulary. So you start with this with the kids, and you work your way up. You don't octo. So then you get to this. You've just taught them what octo means, and they say, "Okay, go now. What's the name of the 8th month?"
October.
It's October. Wait a minute, and then their heads explode.
Yeah. December for decimals. It's 10, right?
So 10. And then they go, wait a minute, and it doesn't work until you, and then it works really well because you roll back. In January, you didn't used to be the beginning of the year. Spring was the beginning of the year, which it still is here in that Chinese calendar.
Yeah.
So this is really cool. Who influenced who? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's a great fun way to play with the words and stuff.
Yeah.
October, the 8th month, yeah, right. September, October.
Yep.
So. If you thought English was logical, good luck.
Yeah.
So.
Roger SS01. Being philosophical. Time is a human construct.
Oh, absolutely. There is an analog thing that exists out there in the universe, but any time you try and start to measure it, of course, that's the human aspect of the thing. Absolutely. It exists as an unquantifiable thing, whatever.
Oh, it's a little after 9. I don't know how much time you wanted for the show and tell.
Yeah, I don't know, because I got a bunch of stuff. I get some stuff I haven't even opened yet.
Oh, okay. More surprises.
Give me a sec. Let me finish this character.
David KP. Yay, surprises. Surprise for everyone.
Okay. We swing this out of the way. Can you?
Yes, swing it around.
What have I got? There's 3 or 4 things. Let's just see what happens. This one is tangentially related to what we do. They are woodblock prints, but not woodblock prints as we know them, Jim.
Okay. I didn't know you were a Trekkie.
Before you were born. Isn't that just part of the generic language now?
I think so, yeah.
Because I'm not a Trekkie as such with a capital T, but there's how much do you have to be a fan before stuff just becomes generic part of the language? I don't know. Interesting. Or would there be people who would use that expression without knowing where it came from?
That could be too.
Interesting. Or people listening here.
People listening here. There's life, Jim, but not so much.
My God, that was so long ago. Okay, what we have. There was an auction the other day on I saw it in passing and thought, okay, I'm not interested in this. You know, I've got a thing here. I'm interested in stuff about woodblock printmaking, but there's a limit to what I can handle and control. And Dave, that's not part of your world. Just sort of let it go. Focus on what you're going to focus on.
Okay.
So these are pieces of paper that have color on them that came from wood blocks.
Okay.
But it's not. Well, let's have a look. Well done. Amazon type package.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, did you order these on Amazon? What is this? Is it a book? Tall box, short surprise.
Okay.
Box.
No, I'll keep this. You take that.
Yeah. That's
So,
what I meant. Just some good.
what we have here is it's a presentation set. There's a certain type of woodblock print. Well, it's not even woodblock print. A certain type of paper called karakami. Karakami. And for the most part, this paper is produced in the Kyoto area. There's probably some workshops that used to make it here, but for the most part, it was something produced in Kyoto.
Okay.
In fact, you call it Kyoto Karakami.
Okay.
And there's a couple of workshops I think still doing it. And it was a kind of paper that was used for example, screens or fusuma, doors, not for shoji because it wasn't transparent, but a decorative kind of paper door. When you're in a rich house and you wanted a pattern or something on the door, you would go to a karakami workshop and buy. So it's a kind of patterned paper. And these workshops made printed patterned paper. And for the most part, they were done with sort of some mica powder or shiny stuff. So that it would be shiny embossed papers. And in the West, like you'd go and buy wallpaper or something, and it was all red flocked wallpaper with patterns of leaves and stuff like this. I'm going back, a couple hundred years, whatever. Yeah. And here in Japan, for things like fusuma panels, or sometimes even an entire wall, not so common for that, they would use what they called karakami. And it was made by carving wood blocks. And I don't have one here to show you, because every time I try and bid on one at auctions, they go stupendously expensive and go up. But imagine a carved wood block, say about like this, the size of my my patio. It's a carved wood block with a pattern. It might be a pattern of a leaf or a wave pattern or something. And it's carved in such a way that when the line goes up at the top here, it comes in at the bottom.
Yeah.
What's the word for that? There's a thing in Photoshop when you do it. You've got a pattern and it repeats infinitely. I know.
Oh, there's
a technical word for this. It's a something pattern, which means it repeats infinitely. Left matches right, top matches bottom.
Yeah.
So it's tileable.
Okay.
Whatever. It's a tileable pattern.
Yeah.
So what they would do was they would carve the wood block like this, quite a bit deeper than we carve our wood blocks. And the wood block goes on the table, set in a certain place. And on the table then are a bunch of marks and registration things. And they get a long, huge roll of paper, put some kind of pigment on this, pull the paper over, take the impression, take the paper off. Put the pigment on again, put the paper in the next position where it would be so that the thing gets tiled.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, after you've printed it,
No.
it's tessellation. I think tessellation is where different shapes fit together, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. Anyway, nobody knows what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So at the end of the process, you've got a piece of paper that's sort of like a 4x8 sheet of plywood in our terminology, big enough for a tatami mat, whatever. And it has this pattern printed repeatedly on it, but you can't see, if they do it well, you can't see the borders.
Got it.
So anyway, this is karakami. Geometric or figurative shapes carved on wood blocks, then printed on large sheets of paper that were used for decorations.
And they ask, what is the kara here? Would it be the China kara, like karaage kara, or is it empty,
No,
sky
it's not
or
empty.
something?
No, it's the one that's come Karasawa, a popular name. Actually, I don't know the root of that one.
Okay.
Kara.
Someone can find it for us.
I don't know. I'm sorry. It's not empty kara. I don't know. It's I don't know. I get a friend here. He comes by every few days. Karasawa, something very common kara.
Okay.
I know kara.
That's okay. We'll
What's
find
another common word? It's not the karaage. It's not kara.
Okay. Here it's just hiragana. They just wrote karakami in hiragana. So
oh, look
that
at
doesn't
this.
help
They
us.
did indeed.
Yeah.
They did indeed. So what this is a karakami sample set.
Cool.
Now, not the kind of sample set that would have gone for a printing company to use. This is a presentation sample set. So what we have here, Kyo Karakamiですね. So,
Yeah.
let's be the kami, something like karan,
That could be the kara.
that's the kara,
China.
and then Cho.
Yeah, karanaga.
Kyo Karakami, I don't know the pronunciation of this.
Okay.
Well, I do not want to spoil this, but I also want to look at what's inside it.
Yeah. Oh, there, it's open at the
Is
bottom.
it open at the bottom?
Yeah. I think.
Karacho. So this will be a company name, Karacho.
Okay, karacho.
And my guess is that would be a very old established company. Cho is also has a meaning of long established.
Yeah.
I do not want to spoil this. I think we can slide some of these out. Sure, let's do it this way. I think we can slide. Yes, we can slide. So what we have here are samples, and there are a ton of them in here. Wow. And these are actually made the same way. This is made with the same technique.
I'm going to zoom in a bit.
Yeah, sure, thank you.
I'll make this window a bit smaller.
I see what they've done. So they're probably I don't think they're all the same pattern. Yeah, they're all going to be the same pattern. Look at this. Is it one pattern, the whole book? Really? I don't think so. Why would they do that? It is. It's one pattern. Interesting. I'm quite surprised. I assumed we were going to find a dozen different patterns here repeated on different colors of paper. Let me try and find some darker colors so you can see. Here we go. Are we visible? I can't see what's happening on the...
Oh, there you go. You pulled it up in the reflector.
Yeah, there we go. And this is the standard type of thing we see. It's always usually done on colored paper, of course. Mm-hmm. The orange color you're seeing is the color of the paper. The paper is made in this tint, and then the pattern is printed on it in, as we see here, it'll be a gold colored powder. It's bronze or something artificial or whatever. I don't have any idea. And the next one's done with some kind of a silver toned color or powder. And I'm a little bit disappointed because every single sheet in this whole folder seems to be exactly the same pattern, just done on a different colored piece of paper.
So it was more a
It's more of a paper sample set. Interesting. I thought we were going to get a whole bunch of different patterns here. And no, it's one pattern. Interesting. Really? Just repeated again and again and again. Anyway, there it is. That's the idea. And this is a sample of Kyo Karakami.
And is this rather new, or is this quite old? It looks new to my eyes.
This box looks kind of new. It does indeed. You know, the technique, the paper, the thing goes back, whatever, you know, many years. It probably predates woodblock printmaking in the way that we do it ourselves as you know, image printing.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, we have the same thing repeated again and again and again. Are they even repeated in the same... Orange is followed by pink. It is. It's the same set.
Huh.
There must be one set here. How many sheets? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Unless I'm mistaken, it looks like the same 10 sheets repeated again and again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
Why would they do that?
Handed them out at conventions. I don't know.
Why would they do that? Why would they do that? Unless it's a box that somebody would buy for home use. You're going to write letters on this or something.
Yeah.
It's too small for letter paper. It's postcard size. They're too thin to mail. You couldn't have written your letter on it and put a stamp on it and put it in the mailbox.
Right.
If it was thicker paper, I could get that. You could actually post the things. No idea. There we have it. I'm a bit disappointed. I thought we were going to see a whole bunch of different patterns, karakami patterns, and we see one karakami pattern repeated on 8 sheets of paper again and again and again and again and again. Anyway, there we have it. let's move along. It's going to take some doing to get this back into the package, so I'm not going to sit here and try to do this right now.
Okay.
Let's do that later when we get quiet.
Yeah.
Interesting. Kyo Karakami samples, 8 samples.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's so much repeated, we should maybe, I don't know, make them available. I don't know, whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving along. Dave, get going. Next item, this has nothing to do with our shop. This came in yesterday afternoon from one of our printers.
All right.
If Jed's watching, he's going to cheer. I am going to have to do the embossing of the name on this because Kubota-san doesn't put his own name on it.
That's
He
right.
refuses to cooperate.
Yeah.
So before I send these to Ome, I have to put the name on. You know what this is, gang? This is the June. You sound hesitant.
Yeah. Is it June?
I'm also hesitant.
I think it's June.
This is the June print. The third batch. I don't know. Ishikawa-san's in the middle of her batch.
Right.
Suga-san's batch is done. I'm going to Ome, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Right. And this is Kubota-san's batch going to Ome. Ready to be shipped out at the beginning of June.
You were saying the koi turned out beautifully. Yes.
Yeah, we wrestled with it, how much to change. There was concern that it sort of doesn't look to be underwater.
Yeah.
And there was even differences of opinion on whether the top surface of this thing is supposed to represent part of the fish that was out of the water.
Because the koi do sometimes swim so close to the surface.
The thing is, though, that looks like this here, but as this pattern breaks up down here, it spoils that effect. So this is why we decided not to do that thing about putting these ripples over the top surface of the koi. It's really not clear what Jed's intending here.
Yeah.
The fin and the top of the fish are out of the water or not, and I don't know.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. He lives with his design, we live with our construction of his design. So
Yeah.
I've got some cleanup to do here. Kubota-san has got a bunch of green on some of these. So that's- But they're nice. He is doing a good job. We've got an interesting design done in a very peaceful, beautiful manner. Very happy with this one. This is number 6. Number 7, we're still carving, and Chon-san has taken a lot of time with this one.
Yeah.
He's way behind schedule. We're not behind schedule with this series. Chon-san is behind schedule on what the printers need to get going with.
Right.
There's no tragedy here because they have lots and lots and lots of work to do.
Indeed.
But it's good. Now, I've got 2 or 3 more things to pick from. One I want to show because of last night's video, but this is big. This is big. This is big. Can we show this, Cameron?
Try. More hake.
This is from last night's video. When I did the video last night, I used mainly the ones that we did close up at the end were the omi hake.
Right.
By the way, in that video last night, many times I said ome instead of omi. I wonder why. Yeah, should be. But but not just omi hake. We also used some images from an old Taisho era set we have of Edo Kinko hake. But the one in my set, the Autumn Moon, has a big, huge foxing mark in the middle of it. So I needed something to replace it. So I borrowed from the shop here. I borrowed the Autumn Moon scene from this copy of the Adachi Edo Kinko, which is going to be able to go into our shop. We have a set of this by ourselves. So this is an Edo Kinko hake set, as featured in last night's video, which is going to go into the flea market. And as usual with the Adachi stuff, the packaging, although it's beautiful and nicely done, the packaging is not someplace that the prints should live in permanently. They've been in this, you can see it's foxed. So the prints should at some point be taken out of here. I'm banging into the microphone. Okay, here we go. They all do the same. All the Adachi sets have the same thing. This is Edo Kinko hake, and where are we here? Tsukurimoko Hanga. And this is Ando Hiroshige Ga. It's really stylized.
Wow.
There's no way I would be able to read that. That's Ga. You get that? That's Hiroshige. That's Ando. No way. They have really gone to town on this.
Yeah.
And all these Adachi sets, they're very nice because they were thinking about the tourists who were here at that time. They have the Japanese language explanation of what this is all about, and they have a very, very nicely comprehensive English language explanation again.
Morning.
Oh, hello, Chiro-san. And their order is different than mine. And actually, the Adachi sets all have a different order.
Also a different order?
As we said, we said this in the video last time, there is no traditional order to this.
And so even within the same company, they
Yeah,
just
didn't bother.
Okay.
So. But I myself last night, to keep things organized, I chose my own order, and within the length of our video, I stuck to the same order.
Right.
But it doesn't match as Adachi's. I think I started with snow or something. These guys are starting with lemon. So. And they've got lots of notes about where things go. And here they are. And we have a list of craftsmen again on this. We have a list of craftsmen.
You know?
Well, I know the names, but again, I never talked to any of these carvers. This is Murata-san, Hamano-san, Kojima-san, and Nakata-san. The only one still alive is Nakata-san. He's no longer working anymore. And I did meet some of the printers. I met Ogura Hanbei. He didn't want to go and talk to me. And Murata-san was gone before I came. No, these men were dead before I came, except for Ogura-san. And this is the kind of packaging that we're using in the 1970s. So this is 1970, 1971, somewhere around here. And you saw the prints in the video last night. The ones in the flip down part of the video last night that I used was a Taisho era set. It wasn't this set. So. And there were comments in last night about the snow, this one. Oh my God, look at this, look how they do the snow using open white space. And I'm like, yeah, this is why we do this. And this is over. Are we seeing this nicely? I can't see the.
Yeah, you can get closer.
And these are beautifully done. And actually, what we've done in preparation for the video, I popped them out of the packaging, so that whoever gets these prints, they don't have to worry about it. They can just take them out of the packaging. Or you could do two things. You could wrap them in washi inside this packaging, or you could take them out and put them in clear file or something, and just keep the packaging separately. And these are nicely done. Again, this is there's no workshop in town these days working at this level. But, yeah. Evening rain. This is done in an unusual way. For the most part, we do rain by cutting out strips and leaving the paper. They've used put white gopher. So this rain is printed on top of the other surface. Yeah, you can see it there. Yeah.
We cheated. No.
It's just another way to do things.
I know.
And slide across, you can zoom out. Right. Okay, that's evening rain. This is the one I used in the video last night, and it's plus minus. And what they used for the moon was a disc of silver leaf. Ginpaku.
So it's nice.
It was nice on the day it was made. It was bright silver. Now the silver has totally oxidized to black. We have a black moon. And
Looks kind of cool.
I don't think so. I think they should take it. In my own Surimono albums, there's a couple of Surimono reproductions I used which had the same thing as silver moon, and I used platinum. And it doesn't oxidize, at least not within my lifetime. It doesn't oxidize. And it sounds, oh my God, these prints are platinum. We're talking about 0.10 of a cent in this much. Platinum is expensive, but not that expensive. So I think they should have used platinum, but they didn't. They used gold. They used silver, and it has oxidized completely to black. Other than that, the print is nicely made. Beautiful gradations. This is Adachi pretty much at top 4. Here's the evening bell sound. Evening bell. To reiterate, this is not the set of prints that we put at the end of the video. That was the Omi Hakke series. These are ones that we used in the middle of the video. With the famous, I don't know, not that I've seen, nobody has said anything about this. I chatted with the staff about it, everybody's saying, oh my God, what have they done, what have they done? And we Googled a little bit, and nobody can find any strip sales like this.
It just doesn't seem like it would be effective.
But the question mark, people are blowing back on me. I said, Hiroshige, just do a black and white picture, put this in print. But there's stuff visible behind us.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to stretch a little bit and say, no, Hiroshige didn't draw that. The production staff thought, well, he didn't take the time and trouble to draw it. So the production staff filled it in manually. But my thesis gets a bit thinner when you start to, do things like that. So I don't know. Hiroshige didn't get it, or the production staff didn't get it, or this is a real thing. It's still up for discussion. Returning geese, of course. Not returning geese, descending geese, I'm sorry. I get these two mixed up, returning sales and descending geese. Same thing. Things that flap in the air coming back home. It's a nice set. Look at the
Marsh?
It's much. This is Hanada.
Oh, okay.
It's the marshes at Hanada,
Got it.
and it was half land, half swamp, half whatever. These are fishing nets hung up to dry. That's another sail. It's a drying fishing net. It's a fishing village. Hang up the nets to dry, and pick reeds to make the tie mats or whatever. I don't know the specifics. This is Hanada. This is gone. Bang! It's now concrete. This is Kogane. This is the Tamagawa Yosef. The thing that was built in early Edo period to bring water from up where I live in Hama, Ome, to bring water down to what's now the Shinjuku area. And can you see the embossing? This is done. Hello, good morning, whatever. This, I tell you, the carving I'm not all that in love with. It's good, but it's not magnificent. But the printing is magnificent. The printing is wonderful. It's just so beautifully done. And this set does come up. So this set will be going in the flea market. And here's the one problem with the set. All the prints are nice, except this one. The clearing weather has a big foxing spot. Well, it's not a big foxing spot, but it has a foxing spot. So the print is not perfect. And you can see actually in the packaging material, there's a foxing spot at the same spot. So, get a sound, hello, morning. So there you are. It's going in the flea market sometime as soon as I get a minute to get it scanned and photographed. An Adachi set of the Edo Kinko Hake. Best guess for when it was made, 1970 or so. It's from 1971 that we see Kubota-san's appearing in these things, but I don't trust that they changed the piece of paper immediately. So. Are these in order? Yeah, they are in order, in my order, right? Clearing weather, evening glow, descending geese, returning split sails, evening bell at Niigata, autumn moon at Ishiyama. I've really learned these now. Yeah. But except this is not the only version. And evening stuff. Together with all the stuff in each ritual. Good. As featured in the video.
Takes choice numbers.
I had to stand at flea market to make sure we have our own set, so I didn't want to get mixed up, you know.
Right.
So. This is the flea market set. Okay, there we are. It's 9:30. There's staff everywhere. The place is going nuts. Okay, what's on their system? We've got a day of work to do today. Tomorrow we're off. Wednesday morning we'll be back here. Same time, same place. I will probably be carving the same block. I do have other work to do. There's more stamping the Kubota-san prints, but they can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they can, because Only's not there. Whatever, we'll see. But anyway, we'll be here Wednesday morning, same time, same station, with another stream here. Probably another mix, carving, and show and tell.
All right.
Kevin, can you sign us off, please?
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
See you later.